Some people are born with fortune, while others have to work really hard to bring fortune into their lives. Just like the woman we are going to interview today, she was once a maid, but now she has her own company. Please join me as we get to know more about Miss Rebecca Bustamante. She has a beautiful home, a loving husband, wonderful children, and her own recruitment company. But life has not always been this perfect for Rebecca Bustamante Mills. In fact, she used the words below poverty in describing her childhood in Dasol, Pangasinan. Ang kanyang ama ay walang matinong trabaho. Pinagkakasya lamang nila ang maliit na kinikita ng ina sa pagtitinda nito ng isda. Bagamat pangpito siya sa 11 magkakapatid, siya ay tumayong panganay sa mga ito.
Doon sa 5 lalaking yun, isa lang natapos ng high school. The rest hindi nakapag-aral kasi sa hirap nga ng buhay. So wala ding nag-guide siguro sa kanila noon dahil yung mga magulang din namin mismo hindi rin nakapag-aral. So, syempre we cannot blame them. Nakapag-high school ako dito sa Philippines. Nandun na yung eagerness ko at the young age na talagang gusto kong gumawa ng paraan kung paano ko matutulungan ang aking mga kapatid, ang aming pamilya, especially yung magulang, kasi sa hirap na nakikita ko.
Doon sa nangyayari sa pamilya mo, ano talaga ang nakita mo na feeling mo, ayoko na to, hindi na to pwede. Kailangan gumawa ko ng paraan.
Walang makain. At that young age, walang makain, walang proper tirahan, walang washroom, walang tubig. Like, na yung nakikita mo mga kapatid mo, walang gatas. Na nagugutom sila, na umiiyak, pero wala kang maibigay, kundi yung tubig ng bigas. Ano yung pag nagluluto ka ng kanin? Ang hirap.
Okay.
Tumira ako sa mga kabahayan para maglinis, para kumita. Nagtinda ako ng mga pandesal sa madaling araw para makabili na ako ng 1 kilong bigas. Yes, 5 o'clock in the morning. Kasi pag magbenta ka ng 100 pieces of pandesal noon, you will make 2 peso. Ang bigas noon, 18 peso a kilo. So pag uwi ko, meron ako 1 kilong bigas. So makakapagluto na kami ng almusal. During the day naman, either magmumulot ako ng mga bote para ibenta mo rin yun.
Talaga?
Yes, those are tough times. Ganon din pag high school, continuous pa rin yun. Either every weekend, naglilinis ako ng mga bahay pa rin para may pambili pa rin pagkain or magbebenta ng isda sa mga barangays.
Dahil pursigido siya na makatapos ng pag-aaral at tulungan ang pamilya, iniwan niya ang kinalakihang lugar upang magtrabaho bilang factory worker sa Bataan. Siya ay namamasukan sa umaga at nag-aaral sa PUP pagdating ng gabi. Nakahanda sana siyang tiisin ang ganitong buhay sa Bataan. Subalit nang mamatay ang kanyang ina, ay kinailangan niyang umuwi sa Dasol para maalagaan ang mga nakababatang kapatid. Mula sa pagiging working student, ay nauwi siya sa pagiging full-time janitress sa isang bangko. Pero wala siyang ideya noon na ito pala ang magbubukas ng napakagandang oportunidad sa kanya.
Sinabi ko talaga sa may-ari ng bangko na pwede niyo ba akong pautangin? Kasi gusto ko mag-abroad. Dahil sa nakita rin nila talaga yung potential ko at saka yung trust in me na I really meant, okay, to help my family. Sabi nila, tutulungan ka namin. Hahanapan ka namin ng employee ng agency.
Sila naghanap?
Sila pa ang parang naghanap ng agency na nag-apply ako. And through that, within 1 year nga nakaalis ako.
Talaga? Eh, sino yung guarantor mo?
Yung may-ari ng bangko mismo.
Talaga? Okay, siguro kasi dun sa 1 taon, nakita naman na ikaw ay talagang napakasipag.
Saka nandun din yung closeness namin kasi syempre we came from the same town. So kilala namin talaga ng bawat isa.
Yes.
So nandun talaga
Dun sa Pangasinan.
Pangasinan, oo. So, they know my family, they respect me, they respect our parents, and they feel so sorry na nawala ang nanay namin at the young age. Kaya talaga, sila rin talaga ang tumulong sa akin para makalit.
And so, at the age of 19, she went to Singapore to work as a domestic helper. At doon, dumana siya ng sari-saring hirap at diskriminasyon.
Maraming challenges pagdating ko doon kasi nung kapanahunan na yon, ang trato nila sa mga Pilipino talagang slavery.
Ay.
Parang ang trato nila sa mga Filipino during that time na hindi maganda. Parang wala kang value, parang bagay ka lang, parang
Yes.
gano'n. Na-feel ko talaga yun, nakita ko yun. So sinabi ko sa sarili ko dati na pagdating ng araw, ipapakita namin sa buong mundo na kaming mga Pilipino ay masisipag, matitiyaga, mababait, matalino. Really, I envision that.
Maganda pa.
Yes, at maganda, right? I envision
Mabait.
that. Yes, hardworking tayo. And we have the heart. Tinanggap ko yun lahat because it's an opportunity to learn the culture. It's an opportunity to pursue. It's an opportunity for me to help my brothers and sisters.
Yes.
It's an opportunity for me to learn,
Yes.
to improve more.
Yeah, gusto ko yan, no? Imbes na yung iba, makikipaglaban, di ba? Para sa'yo, it's an opportunity to
Yes,
show
correct.
and to prove na ganito ako.
Yeah.
Di ba? Hindi
Yes.
ako ganun yung iniisip nyo na ganito kami, parang slaves, no? This is an opportunity to show what we
Oo.
are.
At saka talagang pinatunay ko din sa mga amo ko noon na ang purpose ko nandun is tulungan sila. Para maaalagaan ko yung mga anak, yung maglinis ng bahay nila, para wala silang problema habang sila nagtatrabaho. So I delivered more. Yun ang, I think, napakagandang kailangan or anybody who watch na domestic helper, ang talagang pinaka-purpose natin is what can we do to do more?
More.
Whatever you think na pinakamaganda sa ating employer, kahit anong trabaho natin, either dito sa Pilipinas, na para wag tayo magreklamo, because opportunity come to you, I promise. At yun ang ginawa ko habang nandun.
Para kay Rebecca, ang buhay ay isang karera. Ang bawat araw na lumilipas ay dapat patungo sa katuparan ng kanyang mga pangarap. Kaya hindi sapat sa kanya ang makapagtrabaho lang. Sa aming pagbabalik, malalaman natin kung hanggang saan umabot ang sipag at dedikasyon ni Rebecca.
It's not easy again. There's a lot of challenges, okay? As long as you see your future and you focus in that future, not the challenges every single day.
Nakita ni Rebecca kung gaano kahirap umasenso kapag walang maayos na edukasyon. Kaya habang nagpapakahirap sa trabaho, ay isiningit niya ang pag-aaral. Sinubukan niya mag-aral ng accounting sa Open University of Singapore Institute of Management. Katulong siya sa umaga at sa gabi naman, imbes na magpahinga na, ay binabawasan pa niya ang oras ng kanyang tulog para gumawa ng mga assignment. Malaking bagay din sa kanya ang pagbabasa ng mga libro.
While working sa Singapore kasi, after reading a lot of books, what's so nice about Singapore kasi I'm able to read books sa public library and I'm
Yes.
able to buy 2 books at talagang nag-ipon ako para lang
Yes,
makabili
kasi
ko.
mahal ang mga
Mahal,
libro.
$10 the time, that was a lot of money
Yes.
for me because of my salary, right? So yung unang book na binili ko is Stop Worrying and Start Living. Napakaganda.
Stop worrying and
Start
start living.
So it changed my life 360 degrees, believe it or not. Kasi start believing, teaching you how to believe in yourself. What's your passion? What's your purpose? Appreciating who you are. Appreciating the challenges. Appreciating all those obstacles. Yon. So, na-turn around ko lahat yung mga concern ko, mga sacrifices ko into positive approach.
Ang ganda naman. I want to ask, no, sino ang feeling mo naging inspirasyon or yung buong pamilya mo talaga?
My family. Kasi yung mga kapatid ko, at saka pinangako ko talaga sa nanay ko noon na sabi ko, gagawin ko lahat para mapag-aral ko itong mga kapatid ko before she pass away. So talagang sila ang reason why I am this position because of them. When I was in Singapore reading these books, nag-set up ako ng goals, ng deadline. How many years I should work in Singapore as a domestic helper. Kasi if you work in Singapore as a domestic helper, hanggang ganun ka lang. So of course, I don't like to be a domestic helper forever.
Yes.
And I don't like also to waste my time. Kasi every day, tumatanda tayo. So, very special sa akin yon. So, sabi ko, I will work in Singapore maximum of 4 years.
After 3.5 years ay iniwan niya ang buhay DH sa Singapore to move on to a new life in Canada. She worked there as a nanny, pursued her education, and took up graduate studies in accounting and marketing. That became her stepping stone to be what she had always wanted to be.
It's not easy again. There's a lot of challenges, okay? As long as you see your future and you focus in that future, not the challenges every single day. In Toronto kasi, it's a law that when you apply as a nanny, okay, so you have 1-year contract. Then if you want to continue working there, you have to renew again for another year. If you have good record, you can apply as a permanent residence after 2 years.
Anong klaseng business ang gusto mo nun?
Okay, nakita ko na naman kasi ang need ng tayong mga Pilipino. That pag natulungan natin mga Pilipino na makarating sa Canada, then it's an opportunity for them to have better life at matulungan ng mga pamilya.
Yes.
Then matutulungan din natin yung mga employers doon. Kasi ang gusto nila mga Pilipino, kasi nga masisipag, mababait.
Yeah, mababait.
Because of that, I saw the need. Kaya ako nag-start ng employment agency.
Gusto ko malaman, paano naman yung love life mo dun sa lahat ng taon na yon?
Okay. Was my focus then talaga to my family. Okay. Nung tapos na sila, settled na sila, okay. Then that's the time I was 27 years old. Sabi ko, it's time for myself. So doon naman ako nag-focus na to find a guy that I want to marry. Number one,
okay. What kind of
good
man?
family background. Napakahalaga
Yes.
sa akin yun. Na talagang
May solid,
solid foundation. Of course, na talagang good education. At saka, syempre, meron siyang good na trabaho. Saka yung talagang potential to be my good partner.
Okay.
Yun ang mga requirements ko noon.
Then she found a man who met all her qualifications in the person of Richard Mills. After a year of courtship, they got married and now have 2 sons, Chris, 17, and Alex, 16.
But before we got married or we decided to really get married, I brought him back to Philippines. Kasi gusto kong makita niya talaga yung background ko.
Okay. Nung dinala mo siya dito sa Pilipinas, para makilala ang pamilya mo,
Yes.
pinakilala ka ba sa pamilya niya doon?
Oh, yes, yes.
Bago ka
Yes.
pumunta dito?
Oh, yes. Kasi after 1 week pa lang, he already introduced me to his parents.
Talaga?
Yes. Kasi parang nakita ito niya siguro yung sinseridad ko or who am I, parang proud siya. Dating a Filipina, an Asian, parang ganon. So,
And mababait naman sila.
mababait yung family niya.
Okay.
Very family-oriented sila. At saka, they don't judge you.
Okay.
Oo, because of where you came from, but more on who you as a person.
And then, pinakilala mo naman
Sa family
sa
side
family
ko.
mo.
Gusto ko kasi makita niya na talagang, ano talagang pinanggalingan ko. Kasi sa Canada, kasi nung na-meet niya ako, I already have a business.
Yes.
Tapos, I'm already okay.
Yes,
And then,
businesswoman.
businesswoman na ako. So, hindi siya maniwala na galing ako sa hirap.
Okay, so dinala mo sa
Kaya ako siya
Pangasinan.
inuwi dito, oo.
Okay,
Nung
and pinakilala
nakita
mo sa
niya,
daddy mo?
yeah, my dad is still alive that time.
Yes.
So, nung nakita niya, sabi niya, Rebecca, this is where you came from? Like, I can't
So,
believe
mas
it.
minahal ka, I'm
Dun,
sure.
hindi lang ako, kundi buo tayo, lahat tayong Pilipino na I respect you guys. Because
Talaga?
despite of this kind of lifestyle, you don't complain, you're all happy.
What were the traits that you liked in him? Yung sinasabi mo noon, di ba, meron kang mga criteria dun sa hinahanap.
Oo.
So, ano doon ang nakita mo sa asawa mo?
He's very sincere. He's very focused, very family-oriented. And he worked with me and we have the same goals. Yes. So, we really click.
So, maganda yung
Maganda
partnership
talaga
niyo.
yung partnership namin. And he's really my best friend.
How do you think Richard would describe you? I mean, aside from beautiful and sexy and everything. Oh,
Very salute-oriented, sabi niya. And you're so focused, determined. But despite of that, you have 100% love. Unconditional love.
Gain relationship. Be with positive people. Don't be with negative people. That's what I do.
Rebecca's positive thinking definitely brought her to success. But despite her tough facade, she still has regrets in life. Let's get to know about Rebecca when Spotlight returns.
during that time, I was so involved in our community sa KMU. That time. Kasi nagtrabaho ako sa factory sa Bataan. And then, nung paalis na ako, ang sabi sa akin ng mga kasamahan ko, Rebecca, pag umalis ka, parang i-give up mo ang buong Pilipinas. Samantalang kung dito ka, you will save hindi lang pamilya mo, but buong bayan natin. Ang sabi ko naman, let me save our family first. Once I save my family, then I'll come back.
So, whatever you want to do in life, as long as you're so determined, you can achieve it.
Gusto ko malaman, no, in all of these that are happening, what makes you mad? Kasi kailangan, di ba, parang feeling ko kasi you're full of inspiration eh. Parang go-getter na focus ka talaga. So, bakit ka, kunyari, why would you get
I
mad?
get a very high expectation. I think that's my problem. Because I believe that I've gone through that, so I believe with my people na
Kaya
mo
nila.
yan.
Yes.
But if you're not pushing yourself, doon ako nadidisappoint kasi alam ko na kaya mo eh.
Okay.
But kung nakakita ko someone who has that kind of passion, swerte naman niya. Kasi I'm there to support and develop that person.
So, Rebecca, ano sa tingin mo ang pinakamahirap na desisyon na ginawa mo sa buhay?
Before I left Singapore, kasi during that time, I was so involved in our community sa KMU. That time. Kasi nagtrabaho ako sa factory sa Bataan. Nung paalis na ako, ang sabi sa akin ng mga kasamahan ko, Rebecca, pag umalis ka, parang i-give up mo ang buong Pilipinas.
Ang bigat.
Oo, so mabigat yun. Samantalang kung dito ka, you will save hindi lang pamilya mo, but buong bayan natin. Ang sabi ko naman, let me save our family first. Once I save my family, then I'll come back. So that was the tough decision. But it was a good decision. Kasi natulungan ko mga pamilya ko, nadala ko mga kapatid ko sa Canada, napag-aral sila. Now I'm back.
Yes.
Now look at the event that we're doing.
Yes.
That's something.
Rebecca is the founder and CEO of Shaoray Associates, a multinational recruitment firm for senior management executive positions. As part of their corporate social responsibility, they do events that promote the Philippines as a premier business destination in the Asian region. This includes the Asia CEO Forum and the Asia CEO Awards.
Meron ka bang regrets in life?
I'm so tough.
Oh, but it got you to where you are now.
but I think I can be more settled with people the way I connect with them. Kasi sometimes
Parang
the way
dali-dali naman.
kasi the way I connect with them sometimes they're scared of me. Kasi yung expectation ko too strong, too high. I think yun ang sometimes regret ko na how I push my people, how I push my children.
Kunyari, mawawala na yung pagkain dito sa mundo and you're going to have one last meal. Anong gusto mo kainin?
Siguro, kung last meal, ang tatanungin mo ako, siguro sabihin ko tuyo.
Ay, favorite ko rin yun.
Tuyo sa kakanin, masaya na ako doon.
Yeah. Okay, so ganun.
Bring you home.
Do you cook?
Yes, I love cooking.
Like ano?
I can cook anything for you. Filipino food, international food.
Meron pa bang gusto mong gawin na hindi mo pa nagagawa?
Ay, ang dami pa. Ang dami pa.
Like?
Ang dami nating pwedeng gawin sa bansa natin.
Yes. Pwede kang tumakbo bilang senador.
Oh, I don't like to go into politics, but we don't have to be in politics.
To be able to help.
To be able to
and
help.
to make a change
Correct.
for our country.
Yun talaga ang pan namin mag-asawa. Ang pinakakuan namin ngayon dito talaga is to buy computers to change the mindset ng mga kabataan. Kaya kami nag-i-invest doon. Kasi kung marami ng mga bata na maging international ang mindset nila, maraming pagbabago sa atin.
Yes.
Marami na ngayon yan. And of course, our goal to make Philippines first world
Ah,
or
yes.
2050. Kaya
Anyway,
kaya natin
papunta
yan?
na tayo doon.
Kaya natin yan?
We're starting
Alright.
already and papunta na tayo
Yes,
doon.
doon. So, ang dami, ang
So
dami.
ano naman dun sa ating mga manonood, no? Ano naman ang message mo para sa kanila? Because, you know, you have such a beautiful story. Talagang ako, believe na believe. I mean, pwede bang lahat maging katulad mo? Di ba sana ganon?
Kahit na ano yan, kung gusto nyo umasinso, pwede. At kahit na walang pagkain, kung kailangan tayong lumabas at magtrabaho, pwede. Yan ang sasabihin ko. So, my message na naman sa mga viewers natin, understanding what's your passion. And then pag alam nyo na, take the action. Pag pinagsama yung dalawang yon, magugulat kayo sa result. At yan ang ginawa ko, kaya nandito ako sa posisyon na ito.
So again, thank you, Miss Rebecca Bustamante. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter your position. It doesn't matter who you are. What's matter if you believe in yourself and if you want to be successful, there's an opportunity for you.
A successful man once said, "Some people dream of success while others wake up and work hard for it." That's the reason why Miss Rebecca Bustamante is where she is right now. And hopefully, her story encourages us to do the same. Please join me again next week as we get to know people with inspiring stories to tell. Only here on Spotlight.